up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys my top 3 position battles for the 2020 NFL season, obviously for the Detroit Lions. So let's get it started. Welcome in, everybody, to another video. I'm glad that you guys are here. Before we get this thing started, I do want to give out a little announcement. I need your guys' help. If you guys know about the community tab, if you don't know about the community tab, that's not a good thing. I think some of you guys don't. I don't think some of you guys know what the community is, and that's okay. I will tell you. So if you guys go on my channel, there's a home tab, right? There's a home tab where, everything comes up. There's like one big video. I think it's a Glover Quinn video right now. Then if you go over a little bit, there's a videos tab. Okay, so you can see all of my videos. You go over one more and all of a sudden, bang, there's a community tab. And what that community tab does is allows me to interact with you guys, send out questions, send out voting polls, all of that kind of stuff. Really cool. And also talk to my members only. Only my members can see some of my posts that I put over there. So if you're a member of this channel, whether it's a Hall of Fame member or an All-Pro member, why are you not locked over there, my guy? You definitely need to be locked over there because I'm telling you, man, it's a great way for me to interact with you guys and ask you guys questions. I'm trying to get you guys involved because I have some big plans for you guys. I also have some big plans for the season, but even for now, okay, I think we can do a couple of cool things. I have a couple of cool ideas. So stay locked over there no matter who you are. Now, I did put up a poll because Dose Be Gaming is coming back. Dose Be Gaming is returning, y'all. That's what I like to hear, right? Dose Be Gaming, you may be saying, what the heck is Dose Be Gaming? Well, it is my gaming channel, and that's what that little icon is. After every video, there's like a little game controller. And I've taken a break for just over a week, but I want it to return. So I put up a poll, and I need you guys to vote on that poll to let me know what you guys want to see. So here were the options. 1, Madden 20 series, which is the one that we're continuing over here. I could just, finish it over on the Dose Be Gaming channel. That'd be cool. Last of Us Part 2, I think that just dropped, and a lot of people are excited about it. So if you guys want to see that, I can do it. That one will be cool because it'll probably be live streams. So, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. And also, there's an other option. So if you go to other, you guys can comment whatever you want, any type of game you guys want to see, whether it's a one-time play, maybe like Mortal Kombat or something, or whether it's a game that you guys want to see me do a series on. Whatever, maybe comment that. Don't worry about what the percentages say. Just put whatever you want to see, okay? Put whatever you want to see. That way I have a good idea because we will probably do multiple series. So don't worry about the percentages. Just put whatever you guys want to see, all right? So let's hop into this video and let's talk about the top 3 positional battles. Oh, yeah, and then in the description, Fan to Fan Network, link on Twitch. Go follow over there, okay? Just big things are coming. Now let's talk about these top 3 best positional battles heading into the 2020 NFL season. So every year, there are some really big positional battles for every single team. They have to make tough decisions. I predicted my final 55-man roster, and I struggled. And I'm not even the general manager. I'm not Bob Quinn. I don't even make the final decisions, and I struggled to cut players. But now they have to make that decision once again. It is that time. They have to evaluate the players they brought in and make a lot of cuts, like 40-plus cuts, right? Really tough decisions. And this year, we can keep 55 players on our final man roster, which helps, 2 extra players. That's nice. And potentially the practice squad could be expanding to 16 players. I saw that. That'd be pretty cool as well. But obviously, there's always going to be some good players cut, and there's some really tough decisions that you have to make, even deciding who will be your starters for the season. So today, we're looking at my top 3 positional battles heading into the 2020 season, plus a sleeper, and that will come right before number 1. So stay tuned. Let's get this thing started. Let's start off at the number 3 position, and hopping in at number 3, we have the offensive line. Yes, the offensive line may not be the most exciting position to watch on the field, but it's one of the most important because the offensive line makes everything work. It makes your passing game and rushing game work. And if you don't have an offensive line, you ain't going to be able to do those 2 things. Offensive line is super, super important. And what's great about the offensive line is not only are we talking about, okay, who's going to make the team, which depth players will make it, which won't. We're also asking ourselves, who's going to be the starters? We don't even know what the starting offensive line is going to look like. The only actual player that we probably know where he's going to play is Frank Ragnow. That's really the only guy we have a good idea of, okay, he's going to be our center. Aside from Ragnow, I have no idea what the starters are going to look like. I predicted, it's going to be Decker, a guy like Logan Stenberg / Joe Dahl at left guard, and then Frank Ragnow, center, right guard, Jonah Jackson, right tackle, Big V. That was my prediction. I think a lot of people think it might look like that. But however, we still don't know. We don't know because the Lions this offseason did it kind of strange, right? They released and they let walk Graham Glasgow. Okay, I get that. Then you released or cut Rick Wagner. Okay, so now all of a sudden that right side's open. So you would think, okay, let's just get a guard and right tackle. They did that kind of, sort of. They made it really confusing. Here's how they made it confusing. They signed a Big V, who's a good player, but he plays every single position. Left tackle, guard, and right tackle. And if you look at the Super Bowl run that the Eagles made, he started at left tackle. Even in the Super Bowl, he started at left tackle. So all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, is he really going to be a right tackle? Because he can also play guard and left tackle. And at left tackle, we have Taylor Decker. And the reason I said that, Taylor Decker is usually a lock, but who knows? Some people even think Taylor Decker can move to right tackle if he can do it. I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't really see it happening, but you never know. So Big V made it kind of confusing. Then at the guard positions, you drafted not 1, but 2 guards, one out of Ohio State and one out of Kentucky. You drafted Logan Stenberg and Jonah Jackson. And now it's really confusing. Now it's like, well, who's starting, right? Is he taking Joe Dahl's spot? What is going on? And it's a good problem to have. They have a lot of good pieces. I think our offensive line has a lot of good pieces. The question is just who's going to start. There's a ton of different variations. I mean, you could potentially see Terrell Crosby start at tackle. You could see a guy like Jonah Jackson and Big V start at guard. Oh my gosh. And I don't think Big V was as great at guard as he was at tackle, but you could see it because he's done it before. There's just a lot of variations. Do 2 rookie guards start in the same year? Could we really see Logan Stenberg and Jonah Jackson hold down the guard spots in year 1? Does Joe Dahl start at left guard? Does Kenny Wiggins start? Does Joshua Garnett start? The forgotten signing. So many questions. So now we don't know who the starters are going to be. Well, hold up. How about the players? Who makes the team? I mean, we got a lot of players to choose from. And in 2019, we only kept 9 offensive linemen, which may seem like a lot. But if you also look at how many linemen the Lions currently have to make decisions on, there's about 5 to 6 players that we're going to have to cut. Seriously, Taylor Decker's one. Okay, let's just assume for a second this is what the starting offensive line looks like. Taylor Decker, Logan Stenberg, Frank Ragnow, Jonah Jackson, Big V. All right, that's 5 players. Put that off to the side. So you got 5 to 9 already just in your starters. Then you got Joe Dahl, and then you got Kenny Wiggins, and then you got Dan Skipper, and then you got Terrell Crosby. Boom, that's 9. Sounds good, right? Everything's fine and dandy. Hey, that's a good 9. Okay, but what about the rest of the players? We have Lions offensive lineman Kenny Wiggins to answer the question of what the offensive line positional battle will be like for the 2020 offseason.
For sure. I mean, we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of football, and all of us have great depth, and that's a good thing to have. So, I mean, whoever gets the nod, I mean, it's up in the air right now. So who knows? But we're just out here competing, trying to get better.
Thank you, Kenny Wiggins. I appreciate that. That's obviously Kenny Wiggins. So I was obviously just asked Kenny Wiggins a question. Come on, man. It's not fake. What about the other guys that I didn't mention? What about Bo Benshaw, who's an undrafted free agent that survived here for the year? What about Joshua Garnett, who I just said, could he potentially start? What about Odea Bushi? What about Matt Nelson? What about Caleb Benach? Which of those players make the team? None of those players would technically make the team if we only kept 9. So are we going to keep 10? Are we going to keep 10 this season? Because that could take away from other positional groups. What in the world are Lions going to do with the offensive line position? May not be the most flashy position to watch, but it's really going to be interesting to see who starts and who does make the final cut. A lot of potential in this group. A lot of potential. A lot of young guys that really want to prove themselves this season. So offensive line for me comes in number 3. I didn't even mean to make that route. Okay, hopping in at number 2, we have the wide receiver positional group. This group is really, really cool, and it has to come in at number 2 because wide receivers are always fun to watch. But I think this is like a heavyweight between 3 players. So right now, I think the Lions have their first 4 receivers. And in 2019, they kept 5. And I think the Lions do have their first 4. And Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola, and Marvin Hall. I think Marvin Hall makes the 4th. I think he has that spot locked. I really do. Some people maybe not think that. I think he does. I think he had a way more playing time than a lot of people think he did last season, and he had a way big role than a lot of people think he did. He was actually good for us, all right? He wasn't just a bailout here and there. He was actually pretty darn good for us. So I think Marvin Hall locks that 4th spot. But after that, if you only kept 5 in 2019, you only could keep 1 wide receiver out of, get this, Quintez Cephas, Geronimo Allison, Travis Fulgham, Chris Lacey, Jamal Agnew, Victor Bolden. It goes on and on. It goes on and on with wide receivers. So I only can keep 1 of those if you keep 5 again. Only 1 of those players. And to me, it comes down to 3. Quintez Cephas, Geronimo Allison, Jamal Agnew. Those 3 are the final guys battling for it. Quintez Cephas, you drafted this season. Are you really not going to have Quintez Cephas make the team? Geronimo Allison, you signed this offseason. Maybe not the biggest contract, however, he is proven. And we know what you're probably going to get from a guy like Geronimo Allison. So he's a proven option for the Lions. And Jamal Agnew. Now this one's the crazy one. Jamal Agnew's trying to go from defense to offense. And the Lions love when the ball is in his hands, and they love using him for certain situations offensively. They make a way to keep 6 wide receivers. That way they keep Agnew and maybe Cephas to cut Geronimo. What about Fulgham and Lacey? They're just done? There's a lot of options here, y'all. And maybe Marvin Hall isn't the 4th wide receiver. I think the top 3 are definitely solidified. Maybe Marvin Hall isn't the 4th. Maybe Marvin Hall doesn't make the team. Could you imagine? Gosh, man. Wide receiver positional group is crazy. That's why it comes in at number 2. Now, before we get into number 1, I'm going to throw out my sleeper. Pretty much a weird one. Probably not something that you were exactly expecting. So the cornerback position for me, honestly, I think we got our first 5 locked. I think we know which 5 cornerbacks make the team. For me, it's definitely going to be these 5. Well, I mean, you could keep more than 5 cornerbacks, but I think these 5 are locked for sure. You got your top 5 locked with Jeffrey Okudah, Desmond Trufant, Justin Coleman, Darrell Robertson, Manny Oruwariye. I think those five cornerbacks are locked. So for me, it's not about, okay, which of those guys make the team. Instead, it's who starts, Amani or Okudah. You just a number 3 pick versus Amani. Are you serious? A day 3 pick versus the number 3 pick. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. And you know why I say this? It's because while I do believe Jeffrey Okudah will be the starter this season for the Lions with the Desmond Trufant, Amani Oruwariye ain't going to back down. All right, he knows what he did at the end of the year. The Lions know what he did at the end of the year. He has shown something on the field. And if Matt Patricia isn't lying, and the Lions do it like this, where no matter which pick you're selected at, you're starting at the very bottom, you got to work your way up. If that is the case, oh snap, Amani's proven to us. We know what Amani can do. So maybe we got to give Jeffrey Okudah time to develop. You never know. You would think at a 3 pick that wouldn't be a problem. He has to start. He's the number 3 pick. But I'm just saying, man, Amani's not going to back down. While I do think Okudah will be the starter, Amani's going out there to fight. He ain't going to just let someone take that starting role, man, because he wants it. Darius Slay's gone. Rashad Melvin's gone. It's an open door, man. It's an opportunity for him to take that role. And we thought, okay, maybe the Lions will just keep Amani and not draft a corner there, and then Amani can start because you can rely upon him. And then the Lions hit you with the number 3 pick and they took a corner. How do you think Amani felt after that? He's like, really? Okay, I'm going to show everybody up. So best positional battle that I think we will have this offseason has to be, there's only one option for me. It's got to be the running back position, man. The running back position is going to be crazy to see who makes it. We haven't seen a lot of these guys even play. I mean, we've seen Kerryon a little bit, but he's usually injured. DeAndre Swift is a rookie. Jason Huntley is a rookie. Bo Scarborough is the practice squad player. And Ty Johnson was drafted last season. We haven't seen a lot of these guys play consistently, so it's a big question mark on its own. And in 2019, the Lions only kept 4 running backs, including their fullback. So hold up. You kept 4 running backs. You're saying Kerryon and Swift are probably locks. Those are the only 2 that I think are locks, if Kerryon is locked. But I think those 2 are locks. But now you have to choose between Jason Huntley, Bo Scarborough, Ty Johnson, and Nick Bawden. Now, some people say, okay, well, you know what? Just cut Nick Bawden, move Bo Scarborough to fullback. Will Bo really want to be a fullback, though? I mean, he is a running back at the end of the day. It's just because he's bigger, does he have to be a fullback? That's not fair to Bo. Oh, some people will say, hey, move Joe Dahl to fullback. Okay, I think that could work near the goal line, but you're going to really throw it to Joe Dahl in the backfield? I don't think so, man. I don't know if he'd catch the ball. I just don't know about that one, right? I feel like he'd be easy to cover. So, oh, snap. Who are you keeping, right? Do you keep Jason Huntley? Do you really not keep a guy on your final 55 that you drafted this offseason? He was a surprising pick to a lot of people. Are you really not going to keep that guy on the team? Bo Scarborough. He was really good when he stepped in for you. Our only really true power back, if you ask me, Ty Johnson. Got some power, got some speed, got a really nice mix there, drafted out of Maryland. And he also can play kick returner. And then you got Nick Bawden, your fullback. Who makes the team? Do you keep 5 running backs now? Or do you keep 6 running backs? I don't know. I don't know how the Lions are going to do it. Running back to me is going to be the most exciting position. Plus, who's going to get more snaps this year? Who's going to have the bigger year? DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson. There's a little battle on its own, right? We know that's probably going to be a little battle on its own as those players continue to push each other. So for me, those are the top 3 positional battles. Yes, they're all on offense, but for me, defense didn't have any crazy ones that stuck out to me. There's going to be positional battles everywhere, like defensive line depth, linebacker depth, maybe Jared Davis versus Ragland. Cornerbacks, I think we're pretty much locked there. Safeties, who's the 3rd safety. But aside from that, I don't think there's anything crazy defensively. Offensively, man, it's weird. Our offense, it was way better than our defense last season, but still, our offense, we have a lot of question marks that we still want to see answered, okay? A lot of talent over here, and it should be really fun to see what happens this offseason. So we'll have to wait and see. Comment below what the best positional battle will be for the Detroit Lions this offseason. Thank you, Prop, for watching, and I'm out.